Yo, what's good, everybody? Welcome in to another episode of the BeBall Jones podcast. I'm your host, BeBall Jones, and of course, your co-host Nelson Haskins is right there. Um, as we are all witnesses to greatness. As of February 7th, Tuesday night, we witnessed the great LeBron James break a very long time record that most thought it wouldn't ever be touched, but LeBron James is the all-time career points scorer in the NBA, man. That's one of the craziest records that growing up, that was one of the few, that was one there was only a few records that hearing debates about that would never be touched. Wilt Chamberlain scoring 100 in the game was like, oh, nobody's gonna touch that. Now remember, as a kid, it's before, another gentleman scored a certain amount of points, 81, that before that happened. So nobody said that'd be touched. Nobody thought it'd happen. John Stockton's all-time assist record. Nobody says that'd be touched. That's not gonna be broken. I think Magic has one that people feel like is just not gonna be touched. Might be triple doubles. I think that's what it was for him. Then of course Kareem scoring the 38,886, whatever how many points it is, points. And we witnessed a young man from Akron, Ohio break that record. So Nelson, tell me, man, what is that? What was your thoughts around the whole thing? Like when the time finally came for LeBron James to break this record. What is your initial thoughts about it? What is your feelings around that happening, man? Like, give me some feedback from what you got to take away from that.
Well, it's a crazy thing, man. It's a crazy moment. Like you said, this is a record like most people thought would never be broken. So I remember when people first started talking about it, it was like LeBron's gonna be gonna pass Kareem for the all time number one all time scorer in NBA history. I remember when people started saying that, and it's one of the things that you hear and it's like, okay, you know, he
Mm,
just supporting LeBron, whatever. But then like when this season came and it got closer and closer, I was like, yo, like he gonna really like be the number one
yeah,
scorer.
yeah,
Cause like records like that, especially career records, they're usually held by like very older players. Like you said, the Kareems, the Wilt Chamberlains, the Magic Johnsons, John Stockton with the assists, stuff like that. Those kind of records are always held by like players way older than us that most like guys like me and you probably never saw play. You know,
hmm
so Kareem had one of them records, the all-time scoring list, and was several thousand points away from the second place. Like I think Karl Malone was second. He only had like 36,000 something.
hmm
Kareem had 38,000. And so it was just like, man, like early on, I'm like, yeah, whatever, man. They just saying that. But as it got closer, I'm
hmm
like, dang, bro, he really could do it. And then they
hmm
started counting down the games, and it was like, yeah, he could do it at this game, or that game if he, continue with his average type stuff. And I was just like this history. Like there's no other
hmm
way to put it. It's history. Cause I say this in all honesty, I don't think anybody else can do it like that we've seen.
yeah,
Like people brought up um oh Mike didn't play that many years or whatever, and Mike retired, so you know how guys is stuff like that, and
hmm
I'm like that's cool, but like that speaks more to LeBron, like the longevity, the durability, the ability, like playing without getting injured, playing at a high level for so long. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the amazing part about it. Y'all want to bring up what guys could have done and should have done. That only makes LeBron look even greater because it's like he did that and nobody thought twice about it. So like it's just historic, man. I'm glad I was alive to see it. Like I'm happy that I was able to actually watch the game and see the last shot go in. I saw all 38 of his points, other game the other night. And it's just, man, I'm happy that I was here. That's
hmm
something I can tell my kids about later on in life. You know, like when
hmm
guys later on down the line, we had kids or whatever, and like families. Our kids gonna be watching games, and some player we ain't never heard of, LaMelo Ball maybe, or some, I don't know, some superstar player that we don't know yet, gonna pass somebody on the all-time scoring list and be like, so and so just passed Bill Russell on the all-time scoring list, and the list gonna pop up, and LeBron they ain't gonna be at the top.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm there to tell my kids like, yeah, I saw LeBron break it, like I was there. No, I wasn't there, but I watched the
Yeah.
game. Tickets was $10,000. Nah, I wasn't there, but I saw the game. They gonna be like, for real? I'm like, yeah, your dad watch them do it. And I watched a lot of the points that he scored to get there. So I'm just happy that I have the ability to say that now. Because we couldn't say nothing about Mike 63 points,
Mm-hmm.
Wilt 100 points. Some of us was alive for Kobe's 81. Like most of like guys like we was around to see Kobe score 81. But the records that ain't gonna be broken. We wasn't around for none of them.
Mm-hmm.
Now we are. This is our record. Like this is one of our records that define our generation. Like, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
man, we saw LeBron do that.
Yeah.
And so now we can hang our hat on that. Like, yeah, man, like 40 years from now, we gonna be in our 60s. And guys gonna be talking, there gonna be somebody new talking that people bring up, they talking about better than LeBron and better than Mike. And we probably gonna be defending Bron. Like, nah, bro,
Yep.
I saw I saw Bron play. Y'all just don't know. So
Yep.
I'm happy that I have that now. That's one thing I definitely appreciate. Bron defined our generation of basketball. So
Mm-hmm.
like I appreciate Bron for giving me that. Like I can carry that with me for the rest of my life. Like, yeah, I saw that happen. Y'all, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
y'all youngsters don't know about when Bron broke scoring record. Ain't nobody think that record was ever gonna be broken. And like Bron did that. So yeah, man, I'm happy. Like I'm glad I got to see it. So that's really how I feel.
Yeah. I was thinking about this. I gotta correct myself from earlier. When I talk about records that will be broken, Oscar Robertson was the triple double king that people thought would never be broken, not Magic. So I think Magic might have been second, but Oscar Robertson had the 100 something triple doubles, and Westbrook are breaking that one. But so I had to correct myself. I thought about that when you was talking. Um, but yeah, man, like it was a special moment, and I don't have the same exact story of you when it comes to viewing the game. Um,
What's up?
so I had the game. I wasn't watching it detailed. I was, kind of, double dipping, splitting my attention from the game, doing some other stuff. But when it came pretty close to like the record being broken, I locked in. So uh, when I sat down and chill, from the TV, doing my thing, chilling, just watching, man. And so I was watching the game, and then next thing I know, it's the record's broken. For those that ain't following along, somehow I fell asleep. I just don't know what happened. Like I got comfortable, your boy fell asleep, and then they
Man.
say announced that like, oh man, we have witnessed history. LeBron James. Like, wait, what? I missed it. So I had to rewind the TV back to like a couple buckets before, and I'm just locked in because I didn't see the highlight of it. I didn't catch any of that stuff. So I'm like, okay, all I know is that it happened, which is kind of not breaking news, but still breaking news. So I got to be able to watch and witness it for myself to where, see the shot. Okay, he shot. Well, why shoot the ball? LeBron got a record right here, bro. So, swing the ball at him. He finally gets it. And I watched it. So it was like, because I didn't have that spoiler moment of seeing the highlight or nothing, it was like I still got to relive it. So I still got like that first impression of, history being made. But but yeah, so my story gonna be a little bit different. I can't tell my kids that I saw I saw the bucket like everybody else. I had a delay in mind, bro. But nonetheless, man, it's still a special moment to be able to watch that. And like you said, man, it's special that we finally had something of our own, our generation to be like, man, we have a history book moment when it comes to game of basketball. Like, man, old guys, man, Wilt, man, when him and Kareem, went at it, or when Bill Russell and Wilt went at it, when Wilt scored 100, when this game happened, when that game happened, all these moments that we grow up of like how in music you had to grow up and be in live for this moment when this happened in music, when the Jay-Z era happened, when Wu Tang had their run, when Nas dropped this album, when this person did that, when the Tupac and Biggie beef happened. Like we hear about it and it's like, that's cool. Oh man, he did what? Dang, that sounds nice. Ooh, that sounds scary. Oh, that's crazy. And all that we got hearsay, and we kind of go back and listen to the music, but it ain't got the same vibe and feeling that we have now. Listen to J. Cole, to Kendrick, to Drake, to whoever's dropping right now. It's different feeling that we have right now to live through that experience. And we finally have our own experience to say, man, we watched LeBron James' career. We watching this man get drafted, to being hated on when he left the Cavs, to watch him finally win a championship with the Heat, to watch him finally win one for Cleveland, to move on and finally win one for LA. Like we saw all the records break. We saw his development and growth in it, becoming from 18-year-old kid to a husband to a dad, and see his kids develop and grow. Like we seen all this stuff happen, bro. It's like we finally have this thing of our own now to finally be like, man. So now 20, 30 years, later, you're going through old times of old history books and records and stuff. Man, that guy LeBron James, man, he's one of the ones. So we finally have that thing of our own, just to be like, man, that's what's up. Like we got something like we can grasp for ourselves and just be like, bro, we witnessed this with our own two eyes. Not a replay, not a YouTube clip, not NBA playing it back on TV or whatever, ESPN, whoever. We witnessed it
Hardwood
live.
classics.
We ain't got to go through the Hardwood Classic. We witnessed the Hardwood Classic in live
And
time. We finally have, like, we was a little too young to fully understand Kobe's 81. We might have watched it and seen it, whatever, but we were kids, so it doesn't dawn on us like how historic the 81 was. Like it's different. It's just right there to like understanding it fully. So we finally got something to where we can comprehend and appreciate. Man, I've witnessed the all-time leading scorer do his thing. It's something that we have now. So I will appreciate that, man. And I think the one thing that I think about too right now is that slow ticking down, man. We talked about this multiple times, man, but retirement's coming sooner and sooner for this man than we think. And so
man,
just appreciating what he has, what he's have had, and what he's given us, man, because I don't think we see nothing like him, man. Just from everything, bro. Just his game and how he's played. And I think the most unique thing about him, man, is that he's not a scorer first. He's a pass first guy as an awesome leading scorer. Like that's the most left field thing that is probably about him, man. Like I think that is up there, and also his longevity and health. That's the top two things where it's like almost contradicting,
mm-hmm.
almost. So it's just like it's so unicorn like to have. Like nobody thinks of Magic about, oh, he's a killer. He's gonna drop 50 on your head. Nobody thinks about John Stockton like that. Nobody thinks of Oscar Robertson like that. Like Mark Jackson. Nobody has that picture. LeBron doesn't have that picture either. When you pull out the all-time leader scorer list, he's number one. That's it's I'm still like tripping off of that, bro. Like it's still like it doesn't seem real sometimes, man. So it's that's just crazy to me. And the fact that he's longevity, that's some alien type stuff, bro. Like you never seen somebody that athletic last this long at they it's crazy, man. So that's probably like the biggest takeaways I take away from his career, man, and just his longevity of greatness and him being able to sustain all this stuff right now, man. It's just something to appreciate, bro. So shout out to LeBron.
Shout out to LeBron, man. Like, oh, there'll never be no one like him, man. I'm glad I got to see him. You only get to see a couple of once in a generation players, once in a lifetime
Mm-hmm.
players. You know what I mean? So you don't see too many of them. So you see hundreds of all stars. There's new all stars every year. You
Mm-hmm.
see a good handful of superstars, like guys that are the top of the league and carry the load of a franchise. But once in a lifetime players, you don't see them too often. And so
Yeah.
I'm glad I got to see this one. And like you said, man, time's ticking down. Like, have you seen the tweet that be floating around now? Like that resurfaces now that about LeBron. It was like it was like somebody tweeted like 8 years ago and it was like LeBron James just turned 30. Thank God the foolery won't go on much longer. Like I guess LeBron hater. And it's like, I thank God the foolery won't go on much longer. And here we are 8 years later. And the foolery still going on. So
Yep. It's
I just
crazy.
want to, man, like really, like that's just one way to let us know like how much we thought of LeBron, how much we think of LeBron, because it's like he said LeBron just turned 30, and it's like, all right, so he ain't got much longer. So that lets
Mm-hmm.
you know, like most players after their 30s, it's like
Mm-hmm.
the clock is ticking.
Mm-hmm.
Like especially like star players, you got a lot of load on your body. Most star players ain't gonna make it past 33, 34. You got your occasional 35s and 36s out there, guys that hold on. But by the time you get to age 35, 36, you usually like on the like you a role player, you know.
Yeah.
You usually ain't the star no more. Like I want to say KD 33, Steph
Mm-hmm.
like 31, 32,
Mm-hmm.
LeBron 38. Like
Mm-hmm.
he already over the hill of what of where most players would be when they get ready to retire. He passed that point
Mm-hmm.
and he's still hooping. And so it's just one of them things, man. And when he gone, man, I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna be sad, dog. Like I remember when Kobe retired, how sad everybody was.
Oh yeah.
Like Kobe retired last game, Lakers not gonna make the playoffs. His last game against Utah, dropped 63, 61, whatever it was.
I think it was
Six,
60 on the dot.
oh, 60. Okay. Dropped a 60 ball for his last game. People crying. Like,
Mm-hmm.
dang, bro, I'll never see Kobe Bryant play again. And like I ain't saying I'm gonna cry when Bron retire, but I'm gonna be sad, dog, because I'm gonna be like, dang, like for really all of my life, like as long as I've been knowing basketball, LeBron James has been in the NBA. And like one day he not. And that's just the
Mm-hmm.
sad truth. Like one day I'm gonna turn on the Lakers game or a Cavaliers game, whatever, and they not gonna say standing at 6'9", as a small forward standing at 6'9", from St. Vincent St. Mary. Like they not gonna say it. I'm gonna be like, oh, Ron really gone. Like he not
Mm-hmm.
playing anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's just I'm gonna be sad, dog. But I'm happy that we got to see as much as we did and see everything that he accomplished. So, like you said, shout out to Brian, man.
Yeah, man. It's never going to feel real watching somebody like this, especially in the moment. You know what I
Mm,
mean? Like, because at the same time, he's still writing his history book. Like, he still has stuff he's adding to his resume. And so, excuse me, like, until he officially retires, it's gonna be hard to fully appreciate him. You know what I mean? Because he's still doing stuff to appreciate. And then, like you were saying earlier, bro, like usually 33, 34 at the max, 35 is really questionable. But 34 is usually around that age where it's like, okay, your number one guy, take a step back to number two, to where a situation like a Kobe and Shaq kind of type of thing, where you're still the guy, but we got a younger guy right behind you to kind of like, all right, you take maybe, you know, out of 82 games, you take maybe 38, let the young guy take the rest of them or most of them, and the role players take the handful of them next. When playoff time comes, out of 16 wins, you probably will us through six of them. He willing us through the rest of them, the other 10. So it's like that weight is starting to shift a little bit more to the next guy coming in. Like if CP3 got D book right after CP3 start declining, that situation type of thing coming in. But LeBron been holding it down, man, ever since. Like the narrative was supposed to be LeBron handed torch to AD,
mm,
but LeBron been carrying that thing heavy. Like he's still been rocking it, man. So 38, bro. Like usually we think about 38, we're thinking about Vince Carter, Dirk Nowitzki limping around or Tim Duncan limping around. It ain't
Steve
looking pretty at
Nash.
38. Nash with the back issues, man. Like it ain't pretty when you start getting past 35, but he got that Tom Brady joint where it's like, you call it. When you done, you done. Like Tom Brady's supposed to be done 10 years ago, man. Bron's supposed to be done 10 years ago, and they still kicking, doing their thing, man. So, and the crazy thing about LeBron, if you want to be completely real, he could have another 10 years in him if he really wanted to. Like, because he's still jumping like eye level with the rim, like he booming, like.
Hmm.
And ain't like he's just not skilled, because usually guys when that at that level of athleticism, the skills like it's a drastic jump. His skill level, he's still good enough at skill level and IQ to where he can sustain long enough. So physically, he's been holding up. He's still strong enough to, take the bangs and bumps and bruises. But it's really a call of him mentally want to go through the whole process of keep upkeeping and the wear and tear of what the game provides, man. But he could probably hoop another 5 years, man. I ain't saying this level of LeBron, but think like his decline probably starts 10 years later than what we expected. So when 42 hit, oh, he ain't looking like number one no more. He like a number two guy. So that he started that conversation. Oh, he's 40 now. He started going down here. So his conversation might start at 40 rather than 30, like the average player, man. So
Boy, don't
that's just
turn into
crazy
a
to think
role
about.
player till 40.
That's a crazy thing to think about, bro. Because
Crazy
the way
thought.
he moving, thinking like he still can kicking at 40, man. So, but that's just crazy to think about, man. But anything else that you want to, celebrate by LeBron?
I mean, we can go on all day about stuff LeBron done did. So, I mean, but no, we can we can move on.
So mental toughness is one of the biggest things that I know pretty much every coach preaches to the players, and also one of the biggest factors in the players' game is the mental toughness. So I know that a lot of coaches wish their players would be mentally tougher, and they struggle with teaching them and understanding, what mental toughness is to apply it to the game. So to help you guys out, I wrote a whole ebook breaking down what mental toughness is, different factors that make up what mental toughness is, and different ways that you can apply it to your life and your game, because it's a good blend of the player and the person of how both sides of you can grow in your mental toughness. So I broke it down in the ebook, the Mental Toughness Playbook. The whole ebook is about 50 pages, a little less than 50 pages, easy to read, a simple breakdown of what mental toughness is, different factors and different areas in it that impact your mental toughness, and how you can grow and develop in there. So if you're interested in it, it's in the description below. So go ahead and look into hit that link and invest into yourself by investing into your mindset and mental toughness. Because I personally believe that your brain and your mind is so much powerful than you give it credit. So invest into your mindset, and then your body will follow afterwards. So the mental toughness playbook, get the ebook below. If you tune into it, thank you. I appreciate it. If not, it's fine. Get back to the rest of the episode. See you later. Yeah. So what is like your favorite like I don't say a favorite, but like what's the most impressive stat about LeBron? So is it him becoming the all-time leading scorer now, or is it something that comes to mind when you think about, man, LeBron has this record or he has this stat behind his name in his resume? Like, is it all-time leading scorer that impressed you the most about his career now, or is it like what is it for you?
If I'm talking accomplishments, I would say all time leading scorer is the second best thing LeBron has ever done, or the
Mm,
second biggest accomplishment he's ever did. I would, in my opinion, at least, I would say the 3-1 comeback against the 73-9 Warriors is his biggest accomplishment. Like in my mind, can't lie to you. Coming back down 3-1, like let me tell you something. That image of LeBron James with the shades on and the thing across the bottom says no team has ever come back from down 3-1 in the NBA Finals. That image is burned in my mind because I'm like, I remember I watched all seven of them games. I remember they got down 3-1, and I was like, dang, that's it. It's over. Like, they probably finna go and beat them next game.
mm-hmm.
Like, and like you say what you want about the Draymond suspension and all that happened. Whatever. You say what you want. At the end of the day, that team was 73
Mm-hmm.
and the quote unquote the best basketball team ever assembled, at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Because and they built, everybody, got they they gripes about it. Jordan 72-10, whatever that this and that. If the Warriors would have won that championship, y'all probably would
Mm.
have dubbed them the best team to ever have been assembled.
Yeah.
Bron and them came back, and him and Kyrie put on a show the whole time. I'm talking about same game, dual 40 balls. Him and
Mm.
Kyrie, 40-point games. Like 80 plus points between two guys. And Bron still had his rebounds and assists in a finals game. And it's just like that the way them boys played, the way those guys played them games in a row. I remember the clip of Bron in the locker room, like I'm telling y'all, they scared, man. They are scared. And like they went out there, man. He got them guys ready to play. He didn't let them give up.
Mm.
Like he was their leader. And then, we all know how the last game went. Block by James. Like, come on, man. Like, it don't get much bigger than that. The
Mm.
block that he got, like, people just don't know, man. Like, if you don't really play basketball, and you really might not understand how amazing that play was. This
Mm.
man ran from the opposite free throw line and got a block against the backboard in 3 seconds. Like, you're talking about running 80 feet, 3 seconds, got a block, saved the game. And
Mm.
then, Kyrie hits the shot, and that ends up being the game winner. And like, I just think that whole sequence, that combination of things, like that's something I feel like we'll never see again. A
Mm.
3-1 comeback, and like we see it, we saw 3-1 comebacks in every round except the finals. No one's ever done it in the finals because we saw the Nuggets do it twice
Mm.
in the bubble year, and we saw them do it 2 times. But they did that in the finals. Not only did they do it in the finals, they did it against a team that had won 73 games, the unanimous MVP, the best team that ever been assembled. And they
Mm.
came back. And I just say, you can't take that from me. I think that's the best that he ever did, like, in my
Mm.
opinion. If they would have won that championship and, like, they was the 1-0-3-1, then they won in 5, 1-6, whatever, that's different. Then I
Mm.
probably say all time he score. It's his number one accomplishment. But the comeback, that's number one. For right now,
Mm.
to me, that's the best thing he ever did. So, what about you, bro? What would you say?
That's definitely up there. Um, that image is funny. Like that's a golden image, bro. Like, like whenever
In
the
his,
documentary, whatever documentary LeBron come out, there's gonna be a nice little segment just about that picture, and like that's gonna be a whole story within itself, man. I guarantee, man. So, that's definitely up there. Um, just some stuff that comes to mind, man. And I want to get your opinion on this one too, but on one of them at least. I don't want to go too deep into it, but one of them that comes to mind is the fact that he went to 10 straight finals,
oh yeah,
or was it 9 straight, 10 straight? Because that one
nine
with the
straight,
Spurs,
10 total.
yeah, the one with the Spurs. I mean, that's the ugly step sister that we don't talk about too much. Yeah, it's whatever, it happened, but it didn't happen. So, um, but yeah, he went to consecutive finals. Um, that's impressive, bro. Like we haven't seen that since the '60s. Like that's impressive. I don't care what you say, bro. Win, lose, draw. That's impressive. That's tough to
Mhm.
do because you're playing to get to the finals. You're playing over 100 games for 10 straight years, bro. That's a lot of games, man. And to do that that's a lot, bro. I don't care what nobody says. That alone is impressive. The fact that I think he's top five in assists and rebounds too. If not top five, he definitely top 10. But by the time he retires, he can be about top five. I should look it up before doing this,
Not
but
top 5 rebounds. I already checked.
he's not
He-
okay. So I know he's top five in assists for sure.
yeah, just
I
got the
think he's
number
number
four.
four. Yeah, I think he's number four. So number one in scoring, number four in assists, and I know he's top 10. I know. Well, let's say like this: he's in the 3,000 club in scoring. It's only him and I think three other players, maybe four other players in that category. You know you're a great rebounder when you hit 10,000. He's in that group. I know you're great assist maker when you got 10,000, and he's in that group. So he's in the elite category of all three of those. Nobody else can say that. Nobody in the history of the game can say I'm in the top 10 in each of those categories. That like I don't think people understand. Like none hoopers really, even hoopers don't actually put that together sometimes. Cause it took me a minute to like, oh dang, he's in all three of them joints.
Mm-hmm.
Like dang, like somebody can be in one or two of them. Like a big can be scoring and
Points,
rebounding.
rebounds.
Yeah, and a guard can be scoring and assists. That's kind of like okay, that can count. You're a great guard. Like, but to be in all three, it's like wow. So that's another one that comes to mind, man. Um, and I think the fact that this man has played 20 years of high level number one, go to guy is also very impressive. Like he's just his longevity. Like he didn't come in as a role player and kind of sneak his way up through. He came in King James, cover of magazines and number one pick. He came with all the glitz, glamour, and hype, and he carried it out through to still doing it right now. So I think all those come to mind as just like the top tier feats, man. But I think for me, man, the most impressive is probably going to be the top 10 in those two categories, man. It's probably a sleeper one that some people, probably not appreciating as much, man. But that's up there. But I think the all time scoring is probably the most impressive, man. Just because we didn't think that'd be done, bro. Like nobody thought once Kareem touched it, it's like, oh, that's good. We're done. Like he and for a pass rusher got to get it, it's it just blows my mind sometimes, man. So that's just like the top few that come to my mind, man. But I think that's the one overall that I'm just like, you're all time leading scorer, bro. Like, what else can we say? Like, I don't care if you're a Jordan guy, Kobe guy, Magic, Bird, Oscar Robinson, Kareem. I don't care, bro. You got to get that man his flowers now because he's done that. Like I saw somebody post something today and kind of hating on him, but it's like, bro, you can't fake your way to that many points. You can't scam your way to that many points. You can't finesse your way to that many points. You can't. It's
Mm-mm.
that's impossible. That's skill, longevity, dominance, and greatness to score that many points. If that was possible, then we would have seen that record being broke not too long ago. Somebody would have passed it by now. You can't fake like you can't make that up, bro. You can't do anything to connive your way. That you have to earn that. That's 100% earned. And that alone, I'm just like, bro, you got it, bro. So I think that's the most impressive thing for me, man. The fact that this man went off and just said, I'm the leading scorer. Me. That's probably number one for me, man. So that's crazy, bro. It's just crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy. Like it's definitely a close second to me. I don't know. I might be just biased, but the 3-1 comeback is just it's just also amazing. He did a lot of amazing things, obviously. So, but that it definitely is close second. And like by the time Braun get done, we're gonna be saying ain't nobody touching that record. But
Hmm.
I mean, oh, we'll see. Cause by the time Braun get done, the record gonna be 40,000 plus, most likely.
Yeah.
He had 38, 388.
Yeah.
That was like the record. It was 38, 386. Now you got 38, 388.
Hmm.
So um I'm thinking by the time he finishes, it's gonna be 40,000. Ain't nobody ever scored 40,000, obviously. So I'm thinking that's where it's at. I actually saw a TikTok earlier today that was like, do you think there's anybody in the league, who could possibly break the scoring record that's currently playing? And it was, they showed the whole little graph. So they show LeBron like the trajectory of LeBron's career on like this little line graph,
Hmm.
and by the years he was in the league. So like the points he had going up just like this across the board. And it was like we'll start with the second closest person. It was Kevin Durant.
Hmm.
Not surprised. So KD second, leading scorer in the league currently, and
Hmm.
so he's behind like over 10,000 points. And it's like he could possibly catch him, but the games he's missing, the times he's missed, and the injuries he's had, highly unlikely. He'd have to play for another like 5, 6 years at a high level without missing many games. It's just seeming unlikely at this point. And
Hmm.
they moved to the next person. Next highest person was like James Harden. And it was like James Harden was on pace with LeBron considering where his career started, but the way his career started, the way his career started in OKC, he was a role player, and now he's kind of regressed back to a role player at this point in his career. Um, Same thing for Russell Westbrook. And like they're highly unlikely. And it's like then there's Steph Curry. And it's like Steph is pretty far behind LeBron at this point because where he started his career, he didn't start out that hot. And he'd had to play for over 12 years to have a chance of breaking the record. So probably not Steph either. And then they with the Giannis, it was like Giannis was on pace with LeBron for this point in his career. But the way Giannis started his career kind of set him back a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And it's highly unlikely considering the fact that he doesn't shoot a lot of threes. But
Mm-hmm.
he has a chance. Then it was like now we have probably the best, most likely person to do it as of right now. And guess who it was? Do you like? I want to see if you guess. Who you think it was?
Luca.
Luca. Because like
Mm-hmm.
Luca's on pace with LeBron at the start of his career. Him and LeBron are on a similar pace. He's slightly behind, but the thing about it is Luca would have to stay on this pace. Obviously, like LeBron for
Mm-hmm.
at least 15 more years. And Luca had
Mm-hmm.
already said he don't plan on playing that long. He done already laughed at the thought of years in the NBA. He's like, I'm not
Mm-hmm.
doing that. I'm not
Yeah.
playing basketball that long. So it's not looking like anybody that's currently in the league is even going to have a chance to break the record.
Yeah.
So now you're talking about clearly somebody we do not know, have not heard or seen is like going to have to break it. And I feel like that's the fun part about it. It's like, man, because when Kareem broke it, obviously LeBron wasn't even born. And so they knew at that point in time, like somebody we do not know, have not seen or heard of will break the record. And then,
Mm-hmm.
I'm probably on Mike, and then Mike stopped at the time, it had to been third.
Yeah. I think it's
Yeah.
third.
So I'm sure they talked about Mike doing it, but then when Mike didn't do it, it was like, all right, well, who's next? Somebody
I
we do
think
not
I think Karl Malone was kind of in that discussion a little bit because
have.
he was still playing pretty solid. He was the Jazz for a minute. He went to the Lakers for a couple of years. I'm pretty sure they felt like they could extend his career a little bit longer, but
Mm,
that ain't work out for him. So I think Karl Malone was probably in that discussion for a second, but I don't know. It's too young.
exactly. And then, he ended his career 2,000 points behind Kareem. He was in 36,000. So it's just that I feel like that's the fun of it, man. Like, so who knows, man? The next all-time leading scorer may not be born yet, or they may be a baby. We just had to see. It's cool to think about though. It's like, man, who will be the next guy who could break an unbreakable record?
Mhm. Yeah,
That's part of the fun of it though. So it's definitely up there for
yeah, yeah.
most
I,
impressive record. I mean, accomplishment.
yeah. I think about that every time somebody says, 'cause they keep talking about, oh, nobody's gonna touch this record, nobody's gonna touch this record. And I think about that, just literally what you were saying of how they said that about Kareem. Like they were saying
Hmm.
about that, they'll swing up and down after he broke the record. It's some middle schooler right now that's watching LeBron. It's like, dang, that's crazy. They ain't saying they're gonna do it, but they're just like, dang, that's crazy. Dang, LeBron's great. Like, that's what's up, man. Like some ninth grader right now just watching is like, dang, that's crazy. Like, or maybe somebody grandson or they unborn kid that might be born in a couple weeks, a couple months. That just, I'm play basketball. The next thing you know, in 30 years, 40 years, here they come. Then, like you said, we sitting on back telling our grandkids about, back in the day. I saw LeBron's game. I watched him break the record. I saw the game when he did that against the Celtics. Saw when he did it against the Spurs. Saw that when he did that against the Warriors. We saw the 3-1 comeback. We saw all this stuff. We watched it. We witnessed with our own eyes. So yeah, Jamal over here hooping, but he ain't no LeBron James. Little Sebastian over here doing his thing, but he ain't no LeBron. That's gonna be us. And
Hmm.
so whenever little Shabazz come up and he hooping doing his thing, he creep up or he just passed Mike or he passed Kobe, he passed Carl, he passed Kareem. He ain't passing LeBron. Next thing you know, this season, uh, 28-39, we
28-39.
some whatever year he hooping, and we like, dang, he finna pass LeBron.
The
Nah, he ain't
countdown is
passing
on.
LeBron. He ain't doing it, bro. They don't feel real. Next thing you know, 20 points away. 10 points away. Oh, 6 points away. Oh, he's a bucket away. Oh, stop the whole game. New ceremony. Probably got some AI stuff by the end. Got some robots handing the trophies out. Ain't no telling what gonna happen, man. But
Brian walk out there, old man Brian got the ball like Kareem.
oh, he
Old
probably
man
still alive and
Brian.
kicking by then, bro. He probably ain't no telling him. He's superhuman, bro. So he probably alive and kicking, bro. When we are, he probably outlive us, man. That's the way he living, man. But yeah, LeBron somehow, you know, somehow he handed the ball out to a young guy, young hooper. He's like, hey, salute to you. But at some point in time, man, I keep seeing people be like, somebody gonna have to average 25 points for X amount of years for like 19 years. I'm like, bro, stop saying that stat. Like mathematically, that makes sense, but no, somebody's gonna drop a 60 point. You're gonna see a Kobe type tear when they average 54 a month or 44 a month, or somebody gonna have to average, go on scoring tear when they drop it and they break Wilt's record that year and some year, and it's
Hmm.
like, come on, man. Let's go back to basketball common sense, bro. Like, you're not finna average 25 for your career. Like, LeBron didn't do that. And I get what
Exactly.
I get what they're saying, but let's put our basketball hats back on and take this little cute nerd hat off and just like throwing numbers out there. Bro, that can happen without having this exact lineup of what a perfect career could be like to break this record. So that annoyed me a little bit when I keep seeing that. But yeah, man, like at some point, man, we're gonna be the old heads, the old man, be like, look. I hear what you're saying, but he ain't no LeBron James. All right, that's all I'm saying. He ain't no LeBron. All right. So that's gonna be us at one point, man. But dang, man, it's just crazy, bro. LeBron James, all-time leading scorer record, man.
And we witnessed it.
So um wait, wait, hold on. Time out. Hold on real quick. I just got a quick question for you. All right, okay, look. So where does you go? Like, what are you going after right now in your life? Right? Are you looking to make the team? Okay, you didn't make the team, but you're looking to figure out how to make the team coming up. Or maybe you made the team, but you're on the bench, you're not playing like you want to. Or maybe you're playing a little bit like you want to, but you're not a starter, or you're not finishing the games like you want to. Or maybe you're the player, but you're just not quite where you want to be as far as recognizing your county or maybe your conference or your state, whatever you're trying to be recognized at. Um, Whatever your goal is, I want you to forget about that. Like, put it on the board or something, write it down in your phone, and just put it somewhere and tuck it away. I want you to take that goal, throw it over there, and now I want you to write a new one, right? I want you to write PROGRESS. Progress. I want you to make progress your goal. Okay? So take that big goal that you have now and take it, put it in your back pocket, and just figure out how to make progress and work towards that goal. Because sometimes we get so caught up on the goal of the end goal where we want to be that we don't keep working forward and working towards that goal like we should be. So every day I want you to wake up and figure out how to just make progress. How can I be better today than I was yesterday? It's to do tomorrow. The same exact thing. Figure out how can I be better today than I was yesterday. It doesn't matter how good you are or what you did yesterday. It's irrelevant. It doesn't matter. Your goal today is to make progress be better than you was yesterday. And so if you need a reminder about that, all I want you to do is to have a reminder. I want you to go ahead and get one of these hoodies. Or you get you a t-shirt. I got a couple options for you. So get you a hoodie or a t-shirt just to remind yourself, just to keep it as a memento to be like, man, today's goal is to make progress. My only goal is to make progress. Progress is the only goal. So if that fits you and you feel like you need to make progress to be your goal, go ahead and hit the link in the description below and invest into yourself. Invest into that reminder. Treat it like an alarm clock to remind you that you need to make progress. Make sure that you're focused and being intentional about the work that you had today. So progress is the only goal. Hit the description below to invest into yourself. It's not about me. Investing into yourself to remind yourself that progress is my goal for today. So that's enough for me, man. I hope I didn't interrupt you. Get back to the episode. But yeah, man. What is the most impressive feat from LeBron? Like, what when you think about your best moment or the favorite memory when you think about LeBron James' career? It's probably for you, like you said, 3-1 comeback. But like, if it ain't, if it is that, give me another like a high or something that you all think about, man. Whether it's a dunk, a shot, a move, or a moment, whatever it was for you that besides that stands out to you was like, I'm never gonna forget LeBron did this.
I can't lie to you, boy. God bless Jason Terry. Lord forgive LeBron for what he did today. I can't lie to you, boy. If I'm Jason Terry, I gotta get some kind of get back off Bron. Cause anytime they talk about Bron, his accomplishments, how great LeBron is, they gonna play that clip of him dunking on Jason Terry.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to play it every time. And I'm just like, yo, if I'm Jason, I need some. I need restitution. Cause there's no way y'all gonna keep showing me getting dunked on every time this man do something. Like every time,
Mm-hmm.
like when that jump happened, when he broke the record, and then like they showed a whole little video memorializing his career, and you know, it started out baby Bron, high school Bron, went through his whole career, high school, we're getting drafted, the little interviews, his first bucket, 500 points, 1,000 points, 10,000 points, and then in the middle, what you see. And like they gonna throw that in there, bro, every time. And I
Yeah.
just know Jason Terry be in this house like, oh, there it is. There it is again. And I'm just like, I feel bad, bro. Like, but that
Yeah.
is the one, like that is the play I will always remember. Like, oh my God, like destroyed that man. Like he
So
stood
let me
no
ask
chance.
let me ask you this: which one is worse, that one or him literally clearing John Lucas III?
Oh, that one. Like
Really?
Jason Terry. Like he cleared, John Luke. I remember that. That's
Mm-hmm.
that's just impressive. That's crazy. Like for Bron, like to see, like it's like that's crazy athleticism for him to just jumped over.
Mm-hmm.
But to destroy this man, what make it so bad is he's the only one back. He's the
Mm-hmm.
only one. And like this man, he trying his best to stop three people. It's a 3-on-1 break. And they done threw this man the lob behind him. Like they could have very easily got delayed. They could have just laid the ball up, bro. It could have been cool. Nah, them boys said threw that junk on the Bron. And he probably turned around like, oh my God. Like a freight train.
He probably old man. Oh, here we go.
And then Phil, Braun stared him down. It was like, yo, like, that's the worst one. Like, it ain't too many dunks better than that, or like more demoralizing than that. Like Blake Griffin and DeAndre Jordan and the dunks they did, they probably the most demoralizing dunks. But
Mm-hmm.
that went up there because it's like, yo, this man really just knocked him over. Like, get
Mm-hmm.
out the way. I'm too big and strong. I'm dunking the ball. Like, watch out. And this man fell. And they gonna show it every time. Like
Mm-hmm.
DeAndre Jordan dunking on Brandon Knight with the LU windmill, like crazy. Probably one of the best dunks ever in game.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, they ain't making highlight tapes of DeAndre Jordan playing in the NBA Finals and jump. Like they ain't doing that. They not playing DeAndre Jordan stuff in the arena. Because DeAndre Jordan ain't breaking no records. He ain't winning no awards. He ain't winning no championships. None of that. So Brandon Knight only got to see that jump on YouTube. Or like
Mm-hmm.
when guys be like, these are the top 10 dunks of all time, whatever on ESPN. You know what I'm saying? They just do them every
Yeah.
night.
Mm-hmm.
Jason Terry gonna see that every time Braun do something great. Every time. They're going to play it every time. That was 10 years ago. Do you know that? That's been 10 years ago. And there will never be a year as long as LeBron James playing basketball that we will not see it again. Like
Dang.
that don't
Yeah.
suck, bro. Like, and I know people be bringing up to him because he said one time there's like what's some of the questions you get the most or something like that. I can't remember. And he was like, he's like, man, people you would think people would be like, man, what was it like to play with Dirk, or how did you get to have a 15-year career, or what was it like to win a championship? Like, nah, bro, main thing people be coming up to me talking about, man, why Bron did you like that? Imagine, bro. Why Bron did you like that, bro? Oh my god, bro! Like man, this man is a champion,
Oh
bro,
man.
and no one cares. Is why Brian did you like that, bro? Why you let Brian do you like that? Why you ain't move? Why you ain't get out the way? You ain't see him coming?
Oh.
Oh my god, boy.
I almost spit on my water.
They said, why Brian do
Oh
you like that?
boy.
Jason Terry is mainly remembered for getting dunked on by LeBron. And so that's why I say, like, that's the one. Because I ain't gonna lie, if I see
Oh
Jason Terry, I
man.
ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna think about that jump too. I'm like, dang, bro. Why Brian do you like that? You seem like a good dude.
You mean you like good people.
You seem like a cool
I guess not
person.
as good, but hey, dang, bro.
Oh my god.
That's
So yeah.
oh man. That's funny, man. But that's up there for me too, man. But I for me, man, I just can't help but I think we said it before on the podcast. I don't know if I said it to you or was recorded, whatever. But for me,
Mm,
my personal memory of LeBron, when he terrorized the Pistons, Eastern Conference Finals, scored 25 by himself, 25 in a
mm,
row, fourth quarter in overtime. Oh, LeBron ain't a killer. LeBron can't score the ball. LeBron can't do this. LeBron can't do that. Shut all that down. 25 against the best defensive team in the league. Who? Them out Chauncey, Ben Wallace, Rasheed, Antonio McDyess, Tayshaun Prince, some all them dudes right there. Them, he scored 25 on them. Oh, no. We good. In a row? But like LeBron, the game plan at a certain point was LeBron James. That was the game plan. Everybody in the arena knew, both teams knew, everybody watching knew. Get the ball to LeBron, get out the way, and you don't stop that man. That's impressive, bro. Like
mm.
that's just this like it's one thing to have a moment. It's one thing if Booby Gibson, I don't even remember if he was hooping. Yeah, I think Booby was around that time. If Booby Gibson would have came out and had a little game like that, or if Eric Snow would have popped out and had a game, if Big Z would have stepped out and had a good game, he just had a moment. But when you're the number one guy and you step up and perform, when we know, like it's like I see you finna punch me, I'm bracing for it, I'm trying to block it, and you still land it and knock me out. Like, ooh, you can really like, oof. Like it's like the Mike Tyson here, bro. It's like I know I'm fighting Mike. I know this hit's coming, and I still get KO in the first 10 seconds. Like that's different, bro. Like that's something else, man. So the fact that that man went on a scoring tip against the defensive team of that time frame is like that's up there for me, man. So the dunk is up there. I didn't compute the whole factor of like, dang, that's gonna be like not just the
Play.
NBA highlight, but like one of the guy, like the same thing when you think about of Jordan's highlights, bro. Like Byron Russell had to live with the fact that he pushed off or whatever, or got crossed up, however you want to, whatever perspective that you choose and live with, that's what you see. So if you're a Jordan fan, oh, he crossed them up and he just got separation. If you're a Jazz fan or Jordan hater, you see he got pushed. If you're non-biased, you probably see one or the other. So no.
Mm,
Um, when you think about uh more of it like Kobe's highlights, you can think of him dunking on Nash. Like Nash he ain't gonna never let that down.
mhm.
When he drove down and he leaning over, man, he just boom. Like, that's nasty. And then going Dragic, when you think about Derrick Rose highlights, with him getting bodied up and he just two hands slammed on my boy head. Like
Tough boy.
body. Like he's just like a random guy dunking on. These are like great guys. So when their career highlights being shown, you're gonna see that. LeBron is one of the guys of the league. So you're gonna see that joint when LeBron ain't being talked about. Like you said, the Andre Jordan dunks and Blake Griffin dunks, that's probably Clippers highlights or their personal highlights. So like you said, when the leagues go through the top 10 dunks of this year or top 10 dunks of this decade or whatever it was, this is a league wide issue now. Like this is a league highlight. This is a standing moment of like a highlight moment of the league now. You ain't living that down, man. So
Can't.
Jason, I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry, Jet. Look, we love you. We're not knocking you, bro. We will ask you about. Look, matter of fact, hop on the podcast. Let me interview you. I asked about the 15-year career. Matter of fact, I won't even bring up the dunk. I'll bring up a dunk that might include somebody named rhyme with LeBron James, but I'm not gonna mention. I'm
I'm
not
gonna
gonna.
ask you what you. I'm gonna ask you what you think some of the best dunks of all time are, and
Yeah,
whether or
like
not you choose to mention it is on you.
you feel me? I'm not gonna mention the dunk that he dunked on you when you were with the Celtics and he was with the Heat. You threw the alley oop to him, he dunked over you, and you feel. I'm not gonna mention that dunk. I'm not at all. We're gonna go the whole interview, and you will not hear about the highlight at all where he dunked on you and you failed. We're not gonna hear about that. So we can talk about the 15-year career, the championships, how great of a 3-point shooter you work at. We can talk about all that stuff, and not this highlight. Now I'll give you an opportunity to talk about any highlights you want to, any dunk you want to. Just feel free. That's all I'm saying. So we respect you, bro, in your career because you a shooter, sniper, a jet for a reason, man. But that was an nasty dunk, bro. I'm not gonna glance over that fact right here. You're not here yet, so we're gonna mention it. But
But when you get here, we'll be quiet.
nah, man. So, but yeah, man. So yours is Jet getting dunked on. Mine is his tear against the Pistons. Um, but I want to hear what other people got because I know somebody's gonna bring up something that both of us ain't thinking about. It's probably highlights we're thinking about, but we're just like not a topic. So I do want to know what other people think, man. It's like, nah, this LeBron James moment for me was like that shot against Orlando might be the one for somebody, but that's the
Oh yeah,
first big game winner. Or maybe when he's still in question when he had the floater and he hit off the backboard. Maybe his battles with Paul George. Maybe that's one for him. I don't know, but I do want to hear what other people think about that one, man. So y'all put that in the comments below, just being like, yo, how could you not mention this LeBron James moment or this highlight? Let us know, because we could be crazy. We could be wrong. There's a chance that we're not, but there's a chance that we are. Take a gamble in the comments and let us know below. But anything else you want to say on that?
Jason, we love you, and you don't want to hop on the pod and speak your piece, then you just hit us up.
Matter of fact, y'all him and be like, yo, you need to hop on this podcast and get it off your chest. You just need to do it, bro. Like you've been getting dogged out for too long, man. So go ahead and hop on this podcast over here and just
Defend
you get
yourself.
defend yourself, man. You gotta show a little something, man. So here's an opportunity to do it. So um, y'all let him know that he should be doing that, man. So but we can leave that alone, man. So last thing I do want to get into, man. This has been an interesting debate for a while, man. And I want to see what your opinion is on this, man. LeBron has had basically 4 phases of his career. So we have baby LeBron. When he first came into the league in his first 7 years, we was kind of like figuring himself out, trying to figure out if he can live up to the hype and if he's really worth being called King James and handing his crown. Then we got, what he called like his college years when he went through the melting pot called the culture and the heat system when he just got indoctrinated into what it mean to be a champion. Those runs that he had where he just like him and Wade were terrorizing the league, and it's just like, dang, who gonna face the Heat in the freaking finals, bro? Like who gonna play? That's all. That's what the question was. Those 4 years for real, for real. So those 4 year runs. Then he's like, you know what? This is cool and all, but I gotta do it for the city. So he went back home, went to Cleveland, did his thing for those years there. Then he was like, dang man, you know what else? This ain't it, man. I need a new challenge. Retirement's coming at some point. I want to set my family up straight too, man. So take my talents to LA, man. Now he got his career run going here, man. So which LeBron are you going with? Are you going with Baby Brown when he was first little run in Cleveland? You going with Heat LeBron when he was, Baby Hulk and he was just, overpowering everybody and just dominated that era? Or you going with the return, when we went back to Cleveland, had that run, or you going with LA Bron, all time leading scorer, the LA champion. Which LeBron are you going with out of those 4 LeBrons? Which one are you rocking with the most? You feel like this is the best LeBron or prime LeBron?
Ready for this one? All right. The best version of LeBron, and I will stand firmly on this. The best version is the return to Cleveland, LeBron. And honestly, I don't feel like it's a debate.
Mm,
Like the return to Cleveland, LeBron, and I tell you why. I feel like that's the best version by a landslide, solely because 2018, this man, the 2018 version of LeBron specifically, I believe is the best basketball player I've ever seen.
mm.
In fact, not beyond that, I think that's the best basketball player that ever lived. Like,
Wow.
I ain't trying to say, I ain't trying to get into LeBron, Jordan, GOAT, Kobe, GOAT debate. I ain't talking about that right now. I mean, one individual at one point in time, he was the best basketball player ever. Like, no one has ever been as good as LeBron in 2018 in the playoffs. And you remember the buzzer beaters, the game winners, all throughout the playoffs, terrorizing the Raptors. That was the same year he hit the floater off the glass against I want to say against Indiana. You know, he had the he had another buzzer beater. I want to say it was a 3-pointer from the top of the key or something like that. I can't remember, but he had like two game winners at buzzer beaters throughout his run to the finals, and all to get beat by the Warriors in the end with Kevin Durant in them. So there wasn't much he could do in that instance. But led like this man in his return to Cleveland led every major statistical category for both teams in the finals. Every stat, points, rebounds, assists, blocks, steals, led everybody that played. And I heard somebody else talk about this, and he said the best thing he said about it was like, "Do you know there are people on both teams just to rebound? There are people on both teams just to play defense. There are people on both teams just to score." And this man led every statistical category for both teams. Like you just that's another thing I feel like might never be done again. Like that's it. That's up there in his records. Like we could have threw that in there for his best accomplishment, leading both teams in every statistical category. And that's why I say, man, and like he on the floor, superstars, Steph Curry, Kyrie Irving, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green. 2018, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Kevin Durant, Draymond, the best team in total talent we probably have ever seen. And this man was the best player on the floor every time. And like I stand firmly on that. 2018 LeBron James is the best basketball player. Like if I could take one player out of history, like let's say we was building a team, like forget all time drafts or whatever. If you could take one player from one year, who would you take? Give me 2018 LeBron out the gate. If
Mm,
I'm drafting, give me 2018 LeBron. Give me him over Jordan and his perfect season with the MVP Defensive Player of the Year. Give me him over Hakeem with his almost perfect season. Give me him over Shaq. And I ain't too many people gonna say that about Shaq. You know what I'm saying?
mm,
1999, 2000, 2001. I might could have took Shaq like over a lot of people. Like
mm,
Kobe MVP year, like all that good stuff. LeBron other MVP year because LeBron didn't win MVP that year or nothing. 2018 LeBron James, the best basketball player ever. Like,
mm,
yeah, you can say what you want, you can feel how you want to feel. We'll never see that again. Like
mm,
somebody with that much control over the game and just man, that's me. So the return to Cleveland, Cleveland Part Two, best version of LeBron, in my opinion.
mm. That's a very valid argument. I'm not gonna lie to you. What really sold me on that was, like you said, the finals dominance that he had was
Come
just
on.
leading in every category. Like, yeah, that's a very convincing argument, man. But I'm still going to heat LeBron. Um, I
Man.
I might be a little biased with that one. I ain't gonna lie, because I really watched that team because I'm a D Wade guy. So of course, you teaming up with my boy, I'm gonna watch you. And then it's like you talking about team with my boy number one, and number two, you are the team to watch. Like
Hmm.
from a highlight standpoint, from just the entertainment standpoint, and it being the best team. Like both all that combined was like I'm watching Heat games. Like it's too fun to watch, man. So um I think that the reason why, part of the reason why I'll say that's the best LeBron is that LeBron was that was the most free we saw him play because regardless of what he says or what anybody else says, we all know LeBron James has some hat in the GM round. Like he might not be full Le GM or whatever corny name people like to give him. He might not be full all on as much as we say he has. But the man does have some type of say so, some type of pull to being like, hey, you need to pick up little Kyrie over here, man. I'm not saying you have to, but I strongly suggest picking up a gentleman who played at Duke for like 11 games. He played with one of my Cleveland teams. We might have won a ring together. Just I'm not saying you have to get this guy. I'm just suggesting some people for you. So regardless of what you say, man, those years he was probably the most focused on basketball and basketball only. He didn't have to worry about front office things. He didn't have to worry about coaching. He didn't have to worry about nothing because the Heat culture is the Heat culture. First off, you come to D Wade's team. You're not. No, that's not what's happening. Now, as far as who's the best player, you're gonna be the driver in the car, but this still my car you're driving. Let's get that straight. That's kind of what the situation was. This is my car. This is my Lambo. This is my Bugatti. This is my Ferrari. But I'm allowing you the keys. As soon as you gone, I'm getting my keys back. But it's my car. You're the driver. You controlling where we go. We're going as far as you take us. I feel like that's the situation that happened. And physically, nobody was stopping him. Like not just from an overpowered strength standpoint, but like because part of him was so free. Like it's like if if right now you had to study for class, you had to split your attention between two different classes. Like, yeah, test coming up. You okay? I got to figure out how to go between this math project I got and this history class I got. You got to bounce between that. You got to manage that. But all you had to focus on was math. Oh, there's no reason why you can't go 100% and go in crazy like that. And that's kind of what it was for him to where I don't have to worry about GM and I don't have to worry about coaching. I can just hoop. I'm pushing 100% effort in that direction.
Mm.
And so part of that freedom what he had is just like there. But then it also is just like, yes, he might not have been the best shooter, but he was intentionally not shooting that year. And so that's when he got the post game there. That's when he got that going on. When he got another level of skill going. And so I might be biased by saying this. I will fully admit. Maybe I'll sit back and think about it more. I won't say this one, but I'm probably being biased saying this. But the Heat LeBron is probably the best LeBron that I saw. And part of me wants to say first baby run just because I can't exactly explain it, but something about with young guys that are really good into the league, there's like a recklessness that I love watching. Like a good
Just going
example
full
of this,
throttle the whole time.
just hoop, bro. Like it's just hooping because they don't know better. They just hooping. Like a good example is this that I remember seeing recently is Donovan Mitchell. When he first came into the league, he just hooping. But then you start eliminating, you cut off a lot of little fat that you used to have. And the game gets really polished and really clean. Devin Booker is a good example too now, where it's like you cut off a lot of fat with your game. But sometimes having that fat is very fun to watch. Like,
Hmm.
no, the best example I can think of is Kyrie. When young Kyrie was hooping, when he just like you
Just
get the
doing
rock
the
and you
things.
go, do your thing. Bro. Ain't nobody saying nothing, bro. Young Kyrie's probably the best thing I can think of. You watch him back then, he going all over the court, zigzagging, crossing everybody up, crossing officials up, crossing somebody on the bench up too. A fan come on the court, he cross him up, he crossing the teammates, everybody getting crossed up. Didn't matter. And he get a bucket some kind of way. Now, he operating in the box. He knows that same moves, same boogie, same dancing, but it's a lot more efficient. So when they go deep into the bag, when they go shallow into the bag and still get a bucket. So I feel like that LeBron had all the fat in there too. He had the greasy oil, like the big juicy fat fried chicken that we know he shouldn't be eating, but it tastes so good. That's what young LeBron had. He was just hooping, bro. And it felt smooth watching him hoop, bro. Like so sometimes it's like that's the most hooper LeBron that we got to see. But then part of me is like the current LeBron right now, it's like the tech it's no fat allowed. Like that's the most lean, healthy, organic. chicken breast possible. And
No
it's like
wasted movement.
no wasted movement, no wasted energy, nothing. Like mentally, he's just locked in. And it's just like, dang, like you can't stop that, bro. Mentally, he killing the other three LeBrons. Skill wise, killing the other three LeBrons. But athletically, Heat LeBron probably might be prime. That might be athletically the top tier. He was heavier, so he couldn't express it as much. But outside of that, bro, I think that might be physically LeBron's peak, man. But and like you said, the 2018 year for that LeBron, man, like that's a very tough call. Like this almost as tough as you taking 8 Kobe or 24 Kobe. That's this is up there with that debate. And
Right.
so, but I gotta go with Heat LeBron, man. It's my favorite LeBron James to go at, man. But that year you talking about, it made a very compelling conversation, man. So I don't know, but I'm
Yeah,
going
that
Heat.
2018 year is like the main reason I say that. Really, if it wasn't for that run, I might would have said Miami Bron too, just because like you said, I feel like that was his athletic peak and all that. But Cleveland LeBron, too big and strong, man. Too fast, too smart. Like know how to play the game, man. Like wasn't gonna let you beat him playing the wrong way, man. Like you got to play a
Mm-hmm.
perfect game. You know what I'm saying? I just, ooh, boy, 2018. Like I said, man, like forget players, all time drafts, whatever you want to call it. If we to give me 2018 LeBron over anybody in history, and that's just me.
Mm-hmm.
You want to talk primes? That's cool. Primes is cool. You want to talk careers? Careers is great. But if we talk about one specific moment in time, like, hey man, you you need to win this game to save your life. Like if you lose, that's it, bro. We take you out. You can pick one player out of one moment of history. All right, let me go get Bron out of 2018, specifically in April. And then, I'll tell you, boy, we gonna win. We gonna win. So yeah, that's my thought process. But if it wasn't for that, yeah, I might could have been with
Yeah, man. I think that's one of the ongoing debates, man. It's just interesting to follow along with because every once in a while I see a post something on Instagram where they kind of like where somebody will like debate why this LeBron, this is my argument behind why young LeBron was the best, or why Heat LeBron was the best, why the return of Cavs LeBron was the best, or why current LeBron is the best. And sometimes I'm like, dang, that's a really good argument. You might be right. The next post be like, dang, you might be right. Somebody else post be like, dang, you might be right. I'm like, nah, I'm going to Heat LeBron anyway. But
you. I don't know.
it's just one. That's just one of them arguments, man. That's just like, man, there's no wrong answer. There's really no wrong answer, man. Like I said before, the 8 Kobe, 24 Kobe. That's a very tough one. It's a good argument to have, but that could be a ongoing. That could be an episode in itself, man. But which LeBron you taking? So,
I tell you.
but I think that's it for me, man. Like this episode dedicated to LeBron James, basically. If y'all haven't caught on yet, um, one of our generation's greatest, greatest, one of sports overall, athletics overall, greatest human beings to grace the title of athlete. On and off the court, man, there's so much you can say about him. Like we didn't even get on off the court, LeBron, but all this has been on the court. Like
Mhm.
that's a whole episode in itself of off the court, LeBron, man. So, um, and that's man, it's crazy what LeBron's done, man. So, anything else you want to say? Because I think I'm done, bro. LeBron's a goat, man. But anything else you want to say?
No, man, hey, man, I just appreciate Bron, man. Thank you for what you did for a generation of basketball players. Like, I hate that you get so much hate, you know, but just I appreciate it. Hey, I got a lot of love for you. I hadn't always rooted for you. I can't lie to you.
That's
I
very
ain't
true.
always. Yeah, I have not always rooted. I ain't gonna sit and pretend like I've been your biggest fan. None of that. I have not always rooted for you. I used to be a big KG fan, so you can already you imagine like we come on, man. You got that. I was a
Hey,
big KG fan, so like I said, like I ain't gonna sit here and pretend like I just always been on Bron's side, wanted him to win every year. But I said this before multiple times on the podcast. It's like the older I've gotten, the more I appreciate LeBron and what he's done for the game, what he's still doing. It can't be ignored. Like I don't care how much you
Mhm.
dislike him or how much you love your team and what he did to your team. Like you gotta respect it and appreciate it because what he did will not be seen again. And we won't see another guy like him, another player like him. So I just appreciate him for what he did for the game and for my generation. And
Mhm.
when it's over, I'm gonna be sad, but I'm glad I was here for it either way.
Yeah, I agree, man. Just this is a whole episode to give that man his flower. 'Cause like you said, he's one of the most hated guys that we ever seen, man. Honestly, I feel like Jordan, as much as he celebrated and how he's Black Jesus and all this stuff, man, I feel like he would
Hmm.
got some hate too, just because at that day and age, man, he was just so celebrated and so highly talked of that um, social media wasn't around, so you weren't able to hear the negativities of the Larry Bird fans and Boston. Like that's the one big drawback that I do have of being a Boston fan is that those fans,
How they get?
y'all, hey, them in Utah afraid about being the worst, and
Hmm.
that's all episode on itself too. But we short on time. We ain't got time to get in there. It's about LeBron, but I'm pretty sure we would have seen the Magic and the Bird guys would have been like, "Look, who? He ain't nothing on no Larry Bird. Man, forget about that. I don't care what he did. He ain't no Larry Bird. He ain't doing Magic, bro. He's not stacking up to here." And so um, he didn't have to live through this era of social media and the 24/7 ESPN runs of what LeBron had to deal with. Not to say it's better or worse, I'm saying it's different. So he had to deal with that. And so for LeBron to do everything he's done, man, and just deal with everything he's been dealing with to be at this point in his career where he's the all-time leading scorer, the great humanitarian that he's been, and just overall great hooper, and seems to be a great man, husband, dad, family, his son to his mom, all this stuff, man. What he did for his homies and his whole crew, Mav and Rich and everybody, like it's just crazy, man. So, like I said, shout out to you, LeBron. I know you're gonna do a lot of interviews, man, but hey, if you want to throw a podcast in there, there is this one I know of. It's sitting right there. It's going like it's sitting right there. You can like it's over there too. If you it's right there. Just we struggling, but we got it.
Well,
So if you wanna do a interview, I know you can do a lot of them. But if you want to grace our presence with this one, just throwing it out there. But yeah, man. But seriously, shout out to LeBron. Like it's been an honor to watch this man hoop, man. I thought like he retiring, but just giving the man his flowers as he's been here, man. So um, like you said, I've not been rooting for your whole career. I'm not finna sit here and lie to you. I've not been one of them guys. I'm still a Kobe guy. Reason you got my heart for a couple of years because I'm a D Wade guy too. So I was battling between being a Celtics guy and a D Wade guy. He happened to hop on that bandwagon, so he was like boom, 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 boom. So that's on the situation. After you left, best man win. I ain't care too much one way or another. But hey, um, but yeah, man, shout out to LeBron. It's been a great time watching him climb to be where he's at now as number one on this list of scores, man. So yeah, man, it's been a fun ride. Watching him get to this point has been fun. I appreciate it, man. Shout out to LeBron James Sr. doing his thing, man. So that's it for me, man. You can close us out. Um, I was on the podcast, LeBron.
please. But man, that does it for another great episode of the B-Ball Jones podcast. We hope y'all enjoyed it. Thank y'all for listening. Be sure to like and subscribe. Drop down in the comments. Let us know how you feel about the record, how you feel about LeBron. Let us know your favorite LeBron moments, like we talked about, all that good stuff. Who is the best version of LeBron? Weigh in on the convo, man. We like to hear what you guys think, man. So be sure to drop down in the comments and let us know. Be sure to follow Brian on all social medias at BeBall Jones. That's BE Ball Jones on all social media platforms. Be sure to follow me at NellyH34 on Twitter, at Nelson.Hassan on IG, and you can find me in my name on Facebook. And be sure to follow the podcast on TikTok going across the screen right there on the bottom if you're on YouTube. Put the B-Ball Jones podcast on TikTok. So those were that's where all our clips and snippets from the full episodes be at. So if you miss an episode, you can go there and might be able to check out and see what the gist of what we were talking about. You know, some of the highlights. But then after you do that, go watch the real episode. We appreciate it. But yeah, man, that does it for another episode, man. Shout out to LeBron. Please join us on the pod one day if you ain't too busy. We would most definitely appreciate it. But with all that being said, man, once again, thank y'all for listening. Be sure to tune in next week for another great episode. But without further ado, we out.